my name is Bandera, and I will show you my market research on Club Irlandés de Raqueta, which is the service that I chose. So first, what I'm going to talk about first is the health club market as a whole, not Club Irlandés. I will talk about the environment that surrounds the health clubs. Then I will talk about the competitor of the chosen service. Then I will analyze the product. And then 2 marketing mixes will be proposed and analyzed also. And finally, I will show you my findings and the conclusions. Okay, so first of all, the main objective for this research was to see how different strategies and there are different ways to reach a goal. And the main objective to this was to figure out which is the best way to reach that goal. Now, the Club Irlandés de Raqueta is a sports and health leisure club that is located in Mexico, and it enhances family environment through these ways, through tennis classes, football, swimming, camps, and events. So the health club market as a whole, well, first of all, a market segmentation was done on Club Irlandés de Raqueta in order to identify what the target market was. And this is what it was identified. The club is mainly for A and B, people that belong to those 2 classes, and it's for people who live near that club and who are willing to exercise and to spend time with their families. Now, what are the key factors in the health club as a whole? Well, current trends at a global scale are, firstly, 38% of the people choose a health club depending on the variety of the equipment, and 50% choose it depending on the location. So as you can see, location is really important here. And the further research was done, a SWOT analysis was held on Club Irlandés de Raqueta, and the 4 P's were identified: product, place, price, and promotion. And afterwards, these 2 things permitted the creation of 2 marketing mixes. The first is innovation, and the second, diversification. And after the trends were analyzed, I concluded that what the preferred marketing mix had to have was these 3 factors. It had to build customers' loyalty, because Club Irlandés de Raqueta is a club that's been has a very long life, so it has to build customers' loyalty. It does not have to target new customers because it actually has a waiting list already. So it needs to keep its customers through promoting loyalty. It has to maximize profits, and it has to certify staff, because currently all health services are moving towards certified staff because it's a huge factor. Now the methods. So my research basically consisted on both quantitative and qualitative methods. Quantitative refers to secondary hand research, basically internet, where I search for statistics mainly. And qualitative meant 2 interviews that were held to 2 subjects. The first they both have business-related careers. As we can see, the first subject studied business management, and the second marketing and advertising. Now, what was interesting about it is that the first subject is not involved in health and sports club, and the second one is. The second one is Nelson Vargas, general director, and the first one is Lanitus, which is a cell phone company marketing director. And so this allowed, I believe, a bigger picture, not only a help her view as belonging in this environment, but as a whole view. Now the competitor. The competitor is Lomas Sporting Club. Why? Well, first of all, because it's really close to Club Irlandés de Raqueta, and as I mentioned before, location is one of the main factors when you choose one of the health clubs. And its product consists on, it has 14 tennis courts, it has a gymnasium, a cafeteria, daycare, and health services. The price works just as Club Irlandés because it's a share system, meaning that you do have a maintenance fee, but you don't pay per month. You have to buy some type of stock. And what's different on the competitor is that it's more expensive. So in some way, this gives Club Irlandés de Raqueta an advantage. And finally, their promotion is held through their online webpage. Now, this is a SWOT analysis held on Club Irlandés de Raqueta. Now, basically, I could identify many strengths, but what were the most important is that it has its tennis classes, because that's what makes it Club Irlandés de Raqueta, and the fact that it has outdoor spaces. And in their weaknesses, they're probably the biggest ones is that they have no clear mission. They don't have a certified staff. They don't have age-specific classes, and their spaces are kind of rare. And finally, their opportunities include social trends. Why? Because people are becoming aware of the importance of exercising. Also, the fact that they could expand their terrain and that there is a possible to increase the price. And finally, the biggest threat here is that Mexico's least penetrated market is the health and sports club. So that would probably be the biggest threat. Now the first marketing mix is basically innovation. It consists on renovating the product. This means adding classes. This means, for example, renovating the restaurant, changing the food, changing gyms equipment, as well as existing rooms. Now, of course, how could the club pay for this? Well, they would have to ask for an extraordinary fee they would have to ask for their customers to pay this extraordinary fee, and in order to pay this extraordinary fee, first they would have to do a promotion because they would have to know what they're paying for. And this could maybe be done through printouts, through pamphlets, or through conferences too. And afterwards, after the renovation would be done, this would increase the club's value, and even by 40%. And this would obviously benefit the customers because you can sell your stock. Once you leave the club, you can sell your stock at a higher price. Now the second marketing mix we call alludes to diversification. This means no infrastructure renovation will be done, but just age-specific classes will be implemented. Meaning that so first of all, why are age-specific classes important? Because you cannot give the same class to a 2-year-old to an 80-year-old, right? So they're really important, and these marketing needs include certification and food diversification, like a healthier food style. And also this would increase the price, perhaps not as much as the last marketing needs, but it would increase the value eventually. And promotion would be mainly done through tryouts. So I actually thought the marketing means that would be chosen would be the second one, meaning age-specific classes. So I did my ad on the second marketing mix, and here you can see some of the classes that will be for each age. However, after I interviewed both subjects, they agreed that the best marketing mix will be the number one, which is renovating the club. Why do they think this is the best? Because it's more a fundamental change instead of superfluous. It actually attacks the problems from the roots. And they also said that constant innovation, especially when it comes to health clubs, that's what makes health clubs being competitive. If they don't have the appropriate equipment or the appropriate installations, they will not be competitive, because that's what makes a health club what it is. And they also believe that certification should be added because it's essential. It does not matter. They said that it does not matter how much you renovate, but if you have no certification, then you cannot validate your actual classes. Finally, they also suggested that loyalty could be promoted through discounts, not for new customers, but for already existing customers. For example, if you've been part of the club, for example, 10 years already, then you can get some discounts. And this is a quote that I actually like from the second subject. She said that it was better to do infrastructure before diversification. So, in conclusion, the first marketing mix is the chosen one. Why? Because it's route-oriented, it maximizes the profits and the loyalty, and it enhances certification. And also, not only was this learned through this presentation, but I also learned other things. For example, there are several ways to approach a goal. However, there will always be one way that gives you more benefits, perhaps through profits or through other ways. And finally, also, second, globalization can be taken as beneficial or as a direct path to failure. And finally, a business must take any type of business, not only health clubs, must take into account their opportunities, reinforce its strengths. It should assuage its weaknesses, and it should turn its threats into opportunities.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
How would you turn Club de la Raqueta threat into an opportunity? Its main threat, which one?
Oh, its main threat?
Yes,
for example, like Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like there are current, like at a national scale, there are like current programs that are being held to promote sports, to promote exercises. However, this could not be seen as a threat, like only if the club had expansion, because if they expanded themselves, then they would need more customers, right? However, if they not expand, like they don't need any more customers right now.
Would you consider games like Sports World and Sports City a competition?
In some way, like if your main goal is to only exercise, I would consider it. But however, Club Irlandés de Raqueta is more like a family environment. It's for wait, you mentioned Sports City and what else?
Sports World.
And Sports World. Those are more like focused on just exercising. They're like individualized. Whereas Club Irlandés de Raqueta, it's like a family environment where you go and you can even like spend weekends there and just have like an outdoor stay.
After renovating itself and making its infrastructure better, would the Club de Raqueta Irlandés be a good? Well, it would be a good idea to take it to other places and open new clubs in other areas of the city, or would it be a more exclusive?
I think, well, personally, I believe that being like in that location and being like that, it's what makes also Club Irlandés de Raqueta exclusive, because this is a place where people have known each other like from so long ago. This is a place where like friends, like I don't know, perhaps like 50 years ago joined this club, and it's what makes it like somewhat exclusive. So I would not personally suggest to open, because if not, it would create like kind of like a sports and health club chain, just as Sports City and Sports World, so it's like more exclusive if you only keep it here.
Do you think Sports City and Sport World and all of that have more opportunities than Irlandés de Raqueta?
What do you mean by opportunities?
Like they have more clients and more different preference?
Okay, but I don't think like having more clients means more opportunities specifically. However, that's why if they had like renovation after they add more rooms and stuff, they could have more classes. So it would offer the same amount of opportunities. But however, it's still a different concept. It's not the same.
Thank you very much.